Coming up on this episode of the Geek Sandwich.
Delta pilots to surface.
People turning into Killer Croc?
What is your state the worst at?
And a new dumbass of the week. This and more next.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to Geek Sandwich number 22. I'm Hugo.
I'm Sergio.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Demetrio.
Oh,
This is the
Ray.
Geek Sandwich podcast. There's no Ray.
I think he's in a hostage situation. Carry on.
This is the Geek Sandwich podcast for Friday, September 27, 2013. The Geek Sandwich is a podcast that helps feed your geek hunger every week. We'll talk about geek stuff, whether it's in news, gaming, movies, or whatever just catches our eyes. We'd also look to take on topics sent in by you, the viewer. Today's show is sponsored by HTS Digital Design. Need a new website for either your business or personal use? Just don't have the time or patience to put into the designing or coding of a site? No worries, mate. Contact HTS Digital Design at 401-305-0690 or visit their website at htsdigital.com for more details. HTS Digital, we're your marketing solution.
So, welcome back, guys. How was your week?
Average.
Work.
Work.
Fuck.
I didn't play a single video
No.
game this whole- Wait, you bought a laptop?
Let's...
laptop?
What else?
Okay.
My
Alienware?
No, my laptop still hasn't come in yet. It's making me sad.
Yeah, they tend
Hey.
to do that.
Serious question. How long do you honestly think it would take to build a laptop? Like custom
Well,
build?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Alienware, 5 months?
5 months.
2 weeks.
I ordered quite a bit from Dell at work, and yeah, it only takes like a week or two to
Yeah,
get
but
my
Alien-
laptop set.
Remember, they're
That's-
They've got
Except for the docking station that I've been trying to get now for like 3 months.
See, that's built somewhere else.
They're really dropping the ball on it. It's getting annoying. I might stop ordering from them, but that's something else.
So,
Well,
Sergio,
I-
how... Go
I
ahead.
haven't had an issue with Dell, but since I ordered this Alienware laptop, it's like taking forever.
Yeah, they tend to do that. Their customer service isn't so great, so if it breaks down, don't expect to get your PC back or an answer back for like 4 more weeks. Just saying.
They are Dell, so
Well,
Yeah,
but-
they're owned by Dell now, but it's just I don't know. It's weird. They told me I'll have it by the 8th, but I don't know. It makes me sad.
very.
that's why it looks like they're moving, because XPS, this doesn't seem to be a gaming-related system anymore. Now it's just more style.
Yeah.
All right. Sergio, how was your week?
Average.
Average.
Not according to what you said earlier.
Any GTA?
I didn't play any games this week at all.
Any foxes in your life this week?
No.
Demetrio, I know there's a fox in your week this week.
What does it say?
What does it
It's a question.
I don't know. Well, haven't you guys ever seen Dora the Explorer?
Hattie ho.
Oh my god. So how was your week? Any play any games? Buy any new stuff?
No, not really.
Well, I've spent the week playing. Well, when I'm at home, every once in a while, playing GTA 5 up to like 22% done. Yeah, and then
22?
I'm not home much, so I can't play it much. And I've been playing Pocket Trains. And
What the hell is Pocket Trade?
we talked about it last week. It's a new thing from
Nobody pays attention.
Nimblebit. Shut up.
It was that important that I forgot about it.
It was. Alright, so, hey, got some news and crap.
News and crap.
News and crap.
Alright, today's segment of News and Crap is brought to you by Ron's Chimney Sweep of Cumberland. Ron's Chimney Sweep has been providing 5-star quality experience and service since 1984, specializing in cleaning and repairing chimneys, building and brick restorations, steps, walkways, caulking, water blasting, and waterproofing. Fully licensed and insured in Rhode Island, with no job being too big, nor any job being too small, you can count on Ron to bring you a high-quality and professional service. To book an appointment for an estimate, call Ron at 401-744-1940 today.
Yay! He's actually a client of HTS Digital for life.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that how the memberships come with HTS Digital?
No, he just called. He called me up the other day and was like, "Yep, as long as I'm until the day I retire, HTS Digital's website guy."
Cool.
It's Ron's Chimney Sweep, ri.com.
Yeah.
So if Demetrio needed somebody to clean his chimney, he can't use Ron because he's not Rhode Island.
He'd have to pay him a lot of money to bring his truck here. he
would
does a
first
really
have
good.
to build me a chimney.
I do have a
Yeah, I know.
but it
Lies.
Which he
doesn't
can
need
do.
Yeah. But yeah, he does a really good job since winter's coming. Yeah, clean your chimneys. Don't let those dead birds inflame your chimneys when you go to light the fireplace, Christmas or whenever. Alright, so Delta pilots to use Surface 2 in aircrafts.
Yes, so this just came out today. I guess Delta's been playing around a lot with tablets for the pilots, and they just finished up by using iPads, and they didn't say why, but they're not going to use them. So they were going to use the Nokia RT tablet, but since that's not coming out anytime soon, they've decided on Surface 2s. Currently, all the flight attendants use Lumias to do all the in-flight transactions and all that, and they can pull up manifests and whatever else they have. Maybe the little reminder on how to do the little dance to tell you where the exits are and stuff, and how to put on the seatbelt. Maybe that's on there too. But yeah, they seem to really like the Surface too.
Now, are they allowed to play Angry Birds while they're on their Surfaces?
I don't know if that
Yeah.
app's available on the Windows.
From what I heard today, they've actually got a few more apps on the RTs, but it's still not a fully Windows tablet. So
Which kind of makes sense, because if they're going to be using it for a very specific business purpose, they don't really need a whole bunch of independent apps.
Yeah.
It's more about the build quality and how they can program for it.
Huh.
Which kind of makes sense.
It does.
All right, and another one sent in from Old School Drummer. Flesh-eating drug found in the U.S. Jay, let us up on this.
Okay, so according to this article, there's a drug. It's called crocodile. I guess is how you would say it in Russian, but it looks like the word crocodile.
What does
With
the
good
crocodile
reasons.
say?
No, we're not singing that
Chomp,
song.
chomp.
So, chemically, it's known as desomorphine, and it was first seen in Russia it looks like as far back in 2002, and it's now essentially been found in the U.S. There's been a couple cases so far. The thing that's kind of scary about this, aside from the after effects, is what's used to make it. So, it's very similar to morphine or heroin. So the people who are addicts or that are shooting themselves up with this stuff, it's made by combining codeine, which in the U.S. it's available via prescription, although depending on your state, you could actually get it over the counter. In Russia, it's actually sold over the counter. It's not regulated in that sense. So that's why it's easier to get that stuff overseas in Russia, and that's why this has been a big problem in Russia. But it's used mixing that with things like gasoline, paint thinner, oil, or even alcohol. And then once people have that mixture, they inject it directly into their veins, which is kind of crazy. thinking of injecting yourself with gasoline or oil or anything like that. And essentially, the after effect of it is that the person or the addict who's shooting themselves up with this stuff, it makes their skin turn greenish, scaly, and then eventually rot away. So it's basically killing everything in that area. And the first cases that have been found in the U.S. were found in Arizona, which is kind of interesting. But the doctors that were looking at these patients were kind of thinking, A, what the hell is this? And B, they're starting to realize that this has been an issue overseas, and they're really hoping that it's not going to be a trend here in the U.S. Any thoughts? Turning into Killer Croc and whatnot?
If you're dumb enough to, you know what the side effects are. If you're dumb enough to be injecting this stuff into your body, I don't know if I want you in the gene pool.
You should die.
It's kind of like the guy from Spider-Man.
Guy from Spider-Man?
Dr. Connors?
Yeah, I don't know, the one that turns into a crocodile.
That's Batman.
Well, kind of. No, it's
No,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Dr. Connors. Missing an arm?
Yeah, Mr. Arm guy.
Prominently featured in the cartoon series and in the latest The Amazing Spider-Man film.
That's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, that guy, except he's alive.
I know. And they eventually
Man, that
run
is
away.
just so dumb.
Well, what would
right.
ever cause you to think to inject gasoline? Be like, oh, my car's empty. Let me inject gasoline into myself. That'll help.
Well, today's kids aren't the brightest, so...
I've heard, so, I don't know where I heard it from. Some guy was actually so used to drinking oil. His, liver was like solid rock and, he was immune to, any side effects.
Ew.
No way.
I don't know. Look it up. I don't know if it's true or not, but we're going to talk about the United States of Shame next. Sergio, you want to go first at picking which state is the worst at?
Well, I guess let me go through and... So, somebody composited a list of, a whole bunch of vices, and they compiled data from all the states of the United States and figured out which state was the worst at each one. So let me start with Rhode Island, my home state here. I guess we are the worst in the country with drug use.
Jason, this is your fault.
This
So
is
if
my
anything-
fault.
Since you
And
give
if
out
anything-
drugs.
I would figure that crocodile would start out over here and not Arizona, which is just big on alcoholism, evidently.
Well, theoretically, if they're injecting it into their veins, it counts as alcoholism. In a sense.
I mean, Colorado's big on cocaine use.
So North Dakota is, hey, we got some ugly residents.
Okay, so just look at this. Okay, so it goes North Dakota, ugliest residents, then South Dakota, rape. Why? And then it's violence on females right under that.
In Nebraska?
Nebraska?
That's so random.
Yeah.
It's like this band of, the ugly chicks are going down to South Dakota. They're getting raped.
And then they get violent.
Yeah.
Violence on them. And
Then
then poor
they become
self.
cocaine addicts.
Yeah. and then you get down to Oklahoma and you got female criminals.
Yeah.
And probably from all the,
Well, this is the
Colorado
worst.
being antisocial. New Mexico being antisocial and Colorado with all its cocaine use, it's not helping Texas's high school graduation rates.
But the gonorrhea is doing good.
I know.
The state of Louisiana looks like gonorrhea. I mean, it's just... If gonorrhea had a shape, it would look like Louisiana. That one kind of fits.
But how did they know, people in Alaska die? I mean, nobody lives there.
Everybody just builds it.
It's just isn't it just a bunch of people in, a cabin in the woods or something?
I don't know.
What I don't get is how Texas can have the worst high school graduation rate and Maine can be the dumbest state.
Yeah. What state is that? The nerdiest state? What state is
That
that?
is Ohio. I think I
Ohio?
would like to visit Ohio.
Eh. Ohio, hi.
How is that the nerdiest state though?
I don't know.
Wouldn't Seattle?
That doesn't seem to be a really
The ner-
bad thing.
Wouldn't
I guess
Seattle
we-
be the nerdiest or California?
Yeah, Seattle's too preoccupied with
No,
bestiality.
I could see California with air pollution because everybody said if you go to like L.A., any of the major cities over there, it's like bad. Like you don't see it like down closer to the ground, but if you're like up in the air, it's ridiculous.
Florida makes sense because identity theft has to be pretty easy with all those old people.
True.
Yeah.
And cost of living for Hawaii is definitely right because everything
Yeah.
is shipped over.
Sergio, look what old
Yo.
school drummer wrote.
Well,
Yeah.
That could be a tourist attraction, I guess.
No, the one
And
before
everybody's
that.
into their own thing, so I'm not going to judge.
The one before that.
Getting hell of drunk.
Worst credit score.
Those Vermont's so infertile.
Oh man.
See, I would think corruption would have been ours.
I don't
Although
know why Maryland makes me laugh. I don't.
How's Massachusetts the worst? Worst drivers? I thought Rhode Island was.
no, it makes sense because Rhode Islanders,
Definition of the law, they're the worst drivers.
yeah. Because
By what we
if you
consider
look,
to be good driving.
I don't know,
Well,
it's a toss up.
I'd like to say that in the state that I'm in, they suck at driving. Like everybody. I mean, if there were a lot more people here, they'd
Learn how to drive.
no, be the state would be like the top in worst drivers. But I don't know.
Well, you also live next to the people that have the highest drunk driving, so that kind of makes sense.
Just stay out of Montana.
Montana.
Hey,
And
what's
definitely
binge
stay out of
drinking?
Wyoming. Then
What
you
the
can
hell?
avoid the fatal car crashes.
See?
What's binge drinking?
What?
Are you serious?
What's binge drinking? I don't know.
It's
I'm
when you
young.
drink. It's when you drink
A
a lot in a very small amount of time.
Like when you consume, like, say you binge watch something, there's a ton of it, and then you just
Or like
consume it.
if you hear people say they're binging on something like food or whatever, or like people that have bulimia, they binge on food and then they purge by making themselves throw up.
Ew.
Like they'll eat tons and tons and tons of food and then cause themselves to throw up to not gain the weight, like that type of thing. So binging is just having a lot of whatever it is you're having/doing.
This has been a very odd
Oh,
episode
no.
of Word Girl.
Word girl. All right, let's move on to and in other news. Moto X beats out iPhone 5S, 5C, and Galaxy S4 for durability.
eBay launches 1-hour delivery service in London.
Nah.
Boeing launches airplane maintenance, iPad apps.
You need to hit 1.2 million miles per hour to exit the Milky Way.
BlackBerry prepping for 4.7 billion buyout by Fairfax Financial.
BlackBerry, no BBM for Android or iOS this week.
Really? Why would we need that? Seriously?
Nobody wants
Anyway.
your crap products.
Exactly. All right. Google now lets you lock down lost. I think that should be tracked down. A lost Android device from the
No,
web.
you can remote lock now.
You locked on your phone, like you could, so people won't
You
use
can
it.
put like a password on it.
What happens if they
Fully.
figure out the password? Did you have to lock it again?
Yes.
Good luck
Huh.
figuring out the password.
Well,
So you
Anywho.
get to do that from the web now.
cool.
iMessage unofficially comes to Android. Needs a big health warning.
Yeah, we got to try that, Serge. AT&T wants to get into the wireless broadcast video biz.
A bankrupt city in Rhode Island turns to crowdfunding to put trash cans in its park.
Go CF.
The NSA is accused of hacking into India's nuclear systems. Dun dun dun!
Yahoo working on a new not my email button to deal with recycled address problem.
Laughter. Microsoft will reportedly offer $200 for your old iPhones, too.
No way.
Yeah, they got iPads, and they want iPhones, too.
Why?
To, like, throw them in a pile and burn them, probably?
Yes. So you could buy their Windows phones and Surface 2s.
I put that one on there. Well, I didn't, but I told you about it.
Fake Apple ad tells people the iOS 7 update makes their phone waterproof.
Yeah. That's true. Like, people actually believed them.
That's
You misspelled
horrible.
the email.
And you misspelled thief.
I didn't put that in. I did not put that in. It was Hugo. I just
No,
told
I
about it.
copied your email. Word for
Oh.
word.
You misspelled iOS, you misspelled there.
Okay, it's all
You
that.
misspelled sandwich last week, or the first week.
Blame my
Sandwich.
Android, okay?
Sure,
Blame
sure.
Spellcheck.
Anyway, the Pebble smartwatch goes on sale at AT&T today.
Who uses AT&T?
Nobody. Yay!
NFL will show instant replays via Twitter.
No.
Windows apps can now be installed on up to 81 devices.
Professor creates fusion engine, which he says can take man to Mars in as little as 30 days.
Oh my.
That sounds so enthralling. Speaking
I
of
thought
Mars,
so.
the Mars rover determines that 2% of Martian soil is water. So it's good news for visiting peoples. Or aliens.
Wow.
I want to go to Mars. Sergio?
30 days.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
The EU wants all companies,
Him?
Apple, to use their standard charger.
They're
Yeah,
the only
right.
holdouts.
Oh, that's a lot of news.
Mm-hmm.
Serge?
This week in entertainment.
This Week in Entertainment is brought to you by you, the viewer. So,
I thought it was brought to us by the Fox and what he says.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the World of Warcraft movie is still being made. And they
Wait.
want... Huh?
Wait, there's a World of Warcraft movie?
It's been in
Really?
the works for years. It's been on...
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
It's finally going to come out when there's nobody left playing World of
I
Warcraft.
know.
That's how they'll like suck people back in. It's like, oh, here's the movie. Ooh,
Like that
look
South Park episode.
You can buy the expansion next month.
at- Yeah, exactly.
So they want Colin Farrell to play the lead role, which I don't know what the lead role will be. I'm just guessing he's gonna be like somebody from Stormwind or something.
See,
Maybe a sexy, sexy blood elf.
I don't understand how like you can make a game off of an MMO. I feel like you'd have to make
Well,
a TV series, not like a movie.
from reading a lot of the World of Warcraft books, they have a very it's very detailed, so they could pretty much pick one of the books and just make a movie or a TV show out of it. And
Like Twilight.
Twilight sucks.
So are you saying this is gonna be like the next Lord of the Rings?
Maybe.
I doubt it. Highly
summer,
doubt it.
Jean-Claude Van Damme from Street
Gonna be-
Fighter will be Orgrim Doomhammer in World of Warcraft.
They
Is
already
that your
made
character?
Street Fighter movies, though. Those are
Yeah.
good.
They made a Tekken movie too. I still have yet
Did
to
they?
watch. Yeah,
Some Mortal Kombat movies.
yeah.
No Killer Instinct movie.
Ugh.
How about Marvel vs.
Yeah,
Capcom?
the-
Now, that would be a good movie.
No,
And
it wouldn't.
those are like fighting games. No story whatsoever.
Disney will never let you do that. Unless they buy out Capcom.
True.
Okay. Okay.
Marvel vs.
So-
Star Wars.
Instead of talking about Marvel, DC has a show coming up.
Yeah. Commissioner Gordon is getting his own prequel TV series, and it's called Gotham.
Didn't see that one coming at all.
So it's
Wonder
going
if
to be a
it'll
prequel? The hell?
Will it be serious or will it be like the old TV series? Pow! Wham!
Bam! Boom! I don't know. There was a comic I read. It was basically like Commissioner Gordon. It was a Nori Batman stage. It was based on Gordon, and he was like a crazy drunk and just
Gordon Freeman?
Gordon, Commissioner Gordon.
Gordon Freeman?
Yeesh. No, he's the fox.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Not Morgan Freeman.
No, Gordon Freeman, not Morgan Freeman.
Who's Gordon Freeman?
Search him up.
He's the main character of the game that you don't really like,
What?
Half-Life.
Oh, Half-Life.
Yeah.
I never said I'd never really liked.
See, that's why I didn't get the reference, because I've never played Half-Life, so I'm just...
You said to this day, what you said to me back in 2004 still blows my mind. I installed Doom 3 and I installed Half-Life 2. And we played Doom 3 for a little bit, and then we played Half-Life 2 for a little bit, and you said that Doom 3 looked better. And to this day, it still blows my mind.
I don't know. I was
Was
just
he
being
drunk?
negative to you.
Was he drunk?
I'm like, look at the texture on this box.
The box?
There's just like a cardboard box that was in the middle of this hallway. He's like, yeah, this
Three
looks as
is
good
like
as the
bad
box
cheatings
Doom
and
3.
stuff. I don't know. I must have been on something.
The fact that they're
Must have
still
been-
using the Source engine
It must have been the
in
food you
Xbox One
guys gave me.
games in Titanfall says something about that engine.
Who knows?
A good engine.
Heavily modified.
Sergio, what's this Rush thing I see?
Rush, it's a new movie. It's about Formula One racing in the 70s.
I thought about the group.
No. Although that would be pretty epic.
That's what I thought. Wow.
No, it's a Ron Howard film.
Wait a minute, is that the one that has Olivia Wilde?
Wild
Yes.
Hearts.
Olivia.
And
And-
Thor.
And Liam, what's his face?
Nielsen?
Not Liam. No, not Liam Neeson. Oh God, Helmsworth.
Yes.
Helmsworth.
Thor
Liam
and
Girl
Captain
from
Kirk's
Tron.
father.
And the girl from Tron, Legacy.
Yes, Olivia Wilde. Also, 13 from House.
Yes. Or she was on Leno the other night, and she goes, she met somebody that said, "Oh my God, I loved you in Grey's Anatomy."
Somebody died in Grey's Anatomy.
Or the chick who shows her
spoil
boobs in Alpha Dog.
Who? What?
The chick who shows her boobs in Alpha Dog.
She was not an alpha dog.
Pretty sure. She was topless.
Sergio knows these things.
Yeah. Alpha Dog. Topless.
So Don Juan looks really good, huh?
Don
Is that
Juan
one
looks
with,
hilarious. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Scarlett
Yeah.
Johansson.
Don Juan.
It looks, to me, it looks like the movie that everybody thought Ted was going to be.
Yeah.
Except with a live person instead of a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Don Juan.
Is that a drink?
Yes,
I don't
I'm
know.
looking at the images right now. That's definitely Olivia Wilde.
It sounds like a taco sauce.
Don Juan is a tequila, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that
Oh.
is.
With
Don Juan
taco
taco sauce.
Yeah.
Whoa! I take it you love taco sauce.
I do.
He doesn't even.
Taco flavored kisses.
I knew you were gonna say that. How did I know?
My thunder buddy died from being struck by lightning.
That sucks.
Loki.
Oh, poor Loki.
Loki. Boom.
Oh no!
What did you just do?
Ah!
Make sure the kids are out of the room.
He's in a public room.
No, I'm not. Remember, nobody's home. Oh, wait. Shouldn't say that.
Oh, so you have the other windows tabs open up to that stuff, huh?
No.
Wow.
Gotta delete the image.
It's all Sergio. I already saved it, don't worry.
I'll send you the source link.
Oh my god.
All right, let's move on to Blacklist.
Yeah.
That
It was
show.
awesome!
That was a crazy show.
It was awesome!
The first one
I
had
like Jason
first-
Spader. James
yeah,
Dominator.
it had so many
That.
twists on the first episode. It was not even funny.
Yeah, like,
It was funny.
the action was pretty good, like, the beginning was kind of corny, she's on her way to work, blah, 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 blah. But then, like,
Yeah, my sock.
yeah, but then, like, once they figure out, like, they need to save this little girl, or whatever it was, and the crap that happens on that, like, bridge, oh, insane.
She just gave them the girl. What's up with that?
Well, because she figured that had to happen. Like, they knew they wanted the girl, and they weren't going to kill the girl.
Yeah.
So she figured if she could get it out, she could try to track them, but
Oh,
she
by the
needed
way, people, spoilers.
Oh,
If
I'm
you
not
haven't
going to
seen
tell
the show yet.
True. But, like, the end, like, not even the end, but, like, going towards the end where they're trying to find the girl, holy crap. I knew her significant other thing, something
You
was...
knew about that before?
I didn't know about it before the show, but I had a feeling
Well, when
that
he
he
said,
was hiding something.
when he mentioned, I didn't know until
When she looked at the floorboard.
no, not that. Until like the other one said something like, "Do you really know your fiance?"
Yeah, but by that
I'm
point...
like, "What?"
Yeah. That when he said that, I knew my gut instinct was right.
Yeah.
That something was off.
Oh, this is gonna be
What
crazy.
channel is this on?
I have no idea.
I think it was NBC.
I just do the Hulu.
It was a surprise.
I don't know channels. I did watch a bunch of the other shows that we discussed last week. Yeah, some of them are alright. Goldsberg's is actually made by Happy Madison, Adam Sandler company. That one's pretty funny. I've chuckled a few times to that one. I just watched it.
Why did it bring you back?
It's
Is that
just,
what you're
just like one of the little kids. They actually run around with an old school video camera, like those VHS tape ones.
Mhm.
And this one kid is like trying to learn how to drive. He's like it's just sad and Dad's like always like I raised a moron, this and that. And back in the game, I saw it was. Yeah, all right. I don't know. I'm still gonna have to see it 2 more times. But
Oh.
Jay,
There's-
you seen Survivor?
Yeah, I finally caught up with last week's episode, and then I watched this week's episode, and it's kind of crazy, because you got, for those of you that don't know, not that I'm throwing up a spoiler, but the whole premise of this season is that people came in groups of 2, so that it was supposed to be a returning player and their loved one. So it could have been like their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their daughter, their niece, their
I was
wife.
like, say the dog.
It could have been the dog if you're from Washington. But basically, they all thought they were going to be fighting against everybody else with their loved one. But the whole twist was you guys are actually on separate teams. You're battling your loved ones, blah, 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 blah.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it is. And then once like everybody comes together for the first day, Jeff Probst, who's the person who like orchestrates everything with the challenges and all the other stuff, he's the host of the show, said, you guys are going to split, and right off the bat, you have to vote somebody off of your team. So in my mind, I was like, holy crap, there's already going to be a vote? And then that's when they set up the other twist to the season, is that they brought Redemption Island back. So you get voted out from your tribe, you go to Redemption Island. After a certain amount of time, you fight back, you knock all these other people out at Redemption Island, and you come back into the game. So it's kind of like it is redemption, because you're kind of getting back at people once you come back into the game. But the third twist about this is, if you got voted out, your loved one could take your place. So you could essentially screw over the people that voted them out. Which is, I don't know. It's just I've been a Survivor fan forever, so it's crazy.
You're a survivor.
No. I might be in the future. I don't know. I might have to be under NDA when that happens, so I might not be on the podcast.
Aww.
But who knows?
Richard Hatch was the greatest survivor ever.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Whatever you say.
Oh, this game talk wants me to talk about the gaming corner.
Does it now? It doesn't make you want to talk like a fox?
No.
Are we going to mention that every segment?
Yeah.
Kind of have.
Okay.
Okay.
Today's segment of the Gaming Corner is brought to you by
The Haven Shine Game Center, with weekly events like Enter the Apocalypse RPG on Mondays, Hashfest featuring Melee on Wednesdays, Fight Night on Thursdays, and Halo 3 every Saturday night. Don't forget our Halloween tournament, Rigor Mortis, for Melee and Brawl on the 26th and 27th of October. Look for them on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/Haven Shine Game Center. For more event details, Haven Shine Game Center is located at 30A Martin Street, Cumberland, Rhode Island. We will invade soon. Come to Grafton.
That's a Grafton.
Come to Grafton.
I want them here. I want to do that.
Well, we'll talk about that future on. Yeah, in the future.
In the future.
Well, we kind of had. Well, no, they don't have video games.
I wanted to open one.
Xbox One will offer 300 gamer picks at launch. Devs can roll out optional updates.
Gamer picks.
Ooh.
No more avatars?
Yeah, how's that gonna work?
I don't know. I just want NFL on there.
I want TV.
Huh?
I want TV.
You want a TV?
No. Okay, go.
He wants TB. He wants Tom Brady.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you were saying tuberculosis. That would kind of suck.
Tom Brady.
Ah. All right. Let's
How about
talk
Steve?
about
I
this.
once saw him at a Dunkin' Donuts. It was awesome.
Was he steamy?
Why does Sergio sound like an old smoker lady?
Was he
Get
steamy?
Tom Brady, my God.
Did he have a
Gets
steamy
my heart
house run?
palpitating, which isn't good because the doctor told me that I got to tone it back a bit.
What the hell?
Speaking of Steam,
So Valve had some big announcements this week. They announced Steam OS, which is Linux based, and it'll just be Steam as an operating system. They announced Steam machines, so you got hardware partners who will be making these Steam boxes that will run Steam OS. And today they unveiled the Steam controller, which is interesting looking.
Looks
We'll
like
have
an
to see how-
alien.
I thought those were speakers.
Too.
Instead of thumbsticks, you've got these two giant round thumb pads that
Okay.
remind me of the Turbo Touch 360 from the early 90s.
Demetrio's eating his microphone again.
no, I was just laughing.
So there's no D-pad, there's no typical grid of face buttons.
And
In
there's
place of that
no-
is just these huge pads, like touch pads from a laptop. But
Maxi
they're
pad.
circular. And then kind of flanking them are the X, Y, A, B buttons. And then between those, so those are like towards the middle. Between those is a touchscreen.
What?
Yeah, but
It's a
see-
touchscreen?
Yeah, it's a touchscreen in the middle. Oh,
How-
and then you have pinky buttons on the back that should be used for like zooming and crouching.
or
Well,
shoot.
what are the three buttons on the bottom? Oh, is that like start, select,
No.
and then something else?
Oh yeah.
They look like they're context sensitive, so probably whatever the screen says they do.
Oh, yeah. Is this the prototype, or is this the final?
They didn't really say, but they kind of made it seem like this is it.
I don't know.
And there's shoulder buttons too, which is typical.
Interesting.
Definitely the face placement of all the stuff is very odd, very different.
hmm
Yep.
Well, wasn't somebody supposed to like come out with like a custom? What was it Nintendo when they came out with the Wii? We were like, yeah, you can make that controller into anything. You could do whatever you want with it, and wasn't something like that, Serge, that we were talking about? I don't know if you remember.
Dildo? Wait.
No,
That's PS3. Sorry.
No, that was what the Wii was.
Oh, is that what you used it for?
Yeah.
That was
many uses.
Oh, okay. All
Okay.
right.
Go, read it.
I'll read it.
Yeah.
So, sad era ending again.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, AC3. So anybody that still plays AC3, even though most people probably don't, the ladders are going to reset again today/tomorrow. I think it's midnight, but I don't know if it's midnight Pacific or midnight Eastern. So everybody's scores are going to get wiped. So
But
my score of being in the top 100 is going to go away.
so by the time the
C3.
Assassin's Creed 3.
it's
It will kill you.
You could play online with that?
Air conditioning number 3.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you-
what I was gonna say.
You could play online since Brotherhood, which is the third installment in the series.
So wouldn't this make
So
it?
this
fourth?
one?
No, this is actually the fifth one, and Assassin's Creed 4 is actually Assassin's Creed 6. If that makes
They don't
sense.
know how to count.
So it's kind of like Grand Theft
Well,
Auto.
They
well,
milk.
kind of, but if it makes sense because Assassin's Creed 2, you went from being Altair in 1
That's
to
it.
Ezio Auditore in 2, and then his story continued through Brotherhood and then Revelations. Revelations brought his story and Altair's story and Desmond's story kind of to a conclusion, and then in 3, you play as Connor, and that kind of wraps up Desmond's whole thing. The whole problem I'm having with AC4 is you don't know who you're actually playing as like, I don't know if there's some type of animus thing in Assassin's Creed 4. You know you're playing as one of Connor's grandfather, who's the pirate, but you don't know who is actually pretending to be him, if that makes any sense.
Arg.
It's confusing.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. It'll be fun. Assassin's Creed 4 comes out in a month, so that'll be awesome. So does Batman. Going back to the Gotham thing.
Gotham
Batman
Origins.
I got the collector's edition. Woohoo! Or I don't have it yet, but woo! You be jelly.
Arg. Okay. So,
We got some geek stuff.
geek stuff, huh?
Mm.
I'd like to spread word to all the non-junkies on Scott Sigler. Have you guys ever read Infected?
No.
Big white
Nope.
book
No.
with the eye on it. Well, you should. It's really good. It's about like these little aliens that come from space trying to infect the whole planet, and just
Zombies?
no, they get underneath your skin and they become like triangular eyes, basically.
Oh.
And then this one guy, I think it was, I forget the main character's name. But he kind of stabs them and forks them and stuff
Oh
Like-
my.
to get him out of his body and stuff. And other guys, right at the beginning of the book, this one guy basically had hacked off his legs and stuff, and whole room on fire. Basically, it's a sci-fi. There's actually, yeah.
I thought this was a biography of some sorts.
No. It's a sci-fi, Sergio. He's actually ramping up to get his fourth book in the series out. So they're actually doing a Goodreads giveaway. Just look up Scott Sigler either on Facebook or on Goodreads, and you get a free copy of Infected. The fourth book is coming out, I think, at the end of the year, called Pandemic. You could also, if you go on iTunes, listen to all his books, most of all of his books for free. Just download my podcast. You do get ads, but it's free. So, and he also does the GLS series too. It's like space football, like all football from the future. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to look into that.
Yeah. So, Sergio, would you like to tell us who the dumbass of the week is?
Well, I nominated Kanye West for getting into a Twitter war with Jimmy Kimmel. If
Ooh.
you haven't heard,
Why would you get into a fight with Jimmy Kimmel? Come on.
Because he made that twerk video. Jerk.
yeah, he is. Anywho, if you haven't heard, Jimmy Kimmel made fun of Kanye's insane interview that he did with BBC. It was really insane. This guy's out there. He's got mental issues. But he spent the whole time tooting his own horn, patting himself on the back, which I guess that those two things mean the same thing. Anywho,
Hey.
Jimmy then inferred that these were the ramblings of a child, and to get that point across, his whole bit, his little skit that he put together, he had two children reenact the entire interview verbatim.
No way.
It was absolutely hilarious.
This on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it on
I've
YouTube.
got to
Page.
see this. I've got to see
Front page.
this. Front page, really?
Yeah, they got on the front page.
Oh.
So
look at it.
apparently, this pissed Kanye off, and he went on Twitter and just sent out 1 million tweets. And you know what? He acted like the 12-year-old that Jimmy Kimmel was saying that he kind of sounded like in the interview. he did stuff like on Twitter he called Jimmy Kimmel ugly. Said he had a stupid face.
Oh my.
He said Sarah Silverman was funnier than him. I don't know how any of this relates, but see, he also threw in, then to have to be childish, he threw in that Jimmy Kimmel doesn't get any good quote unquote P word. I don't want to say it out loud there.
Cat.
But you know what, Kanye? I've seen Kim Kardashian Superstar. Neither do you, buddy.
And who names their child North when your last name is West?
Because
you should have named
I
the
know
kid
why.
Adam.
I know why. It's because
Girl.
it's because the names East,
Rick,
West, and
regardless.
South all taken.
Named him
What
after
did
the other airline.
Yeah, exactly.
Then Delta buys them out. Yeah, they bought them out then. Thought they were getting rid of them all. Yeah, it's all in Delta now.
Still stupid.
Yeah.
Well, if you start getting a lot of tweets, Sergio, let us know.
Sergio's been using Twitter a lot more lately, people.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, he
A lot more than
posted
I've been
it.
using it.
What, twice
Yeah.
in the past week, as opposed
Once
to
a week.
last year?
Yeah, once a week, I see a new post. I'm like, wow.
I don't care if Kanye West makes fun of me. It doesn't mean he's not an idiot.
He'll find you,
Yeah. He'll get like a summons in the mail.
and then he'll ask you what sound does a fox make.
Or he'll
And I'll
jump
giggle like a little girl.
he'll jump into the stream. Wow. And as Sergio's talking, he's gonna say, "I'm gonna let you finish, but," and then he'll throw in some random thing.
Oh,
Oh, his whole apology after that was, oh man, it's just shut up, dude.
do you know she lives in Rhode Island now, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't
Tails-
live in Rhode Island. She owns a house, but she doesn't live here.
And when she's at that house, she yells at people who walk on the beach in front of her house, even though it's public property.
Get off my sand!
Yeah, she's like an old man. Yeah. Get off! Well, actually, she
We
says
should-
her-
We should
she says her
go.
body.
We should go walk on the beach and be like, "Hi, we're from the Geek Sandwich podcast. We heard this was public ground. Your thing?" Oh man.
What's wrong with your mouth? But why is it so small? It just doesn't open up very well. You're like Shirley Temple. You just got this little mouth in the middle of your face that doesn't open
Get some
very
drinks.
wide. Just stays there.
All right,
Eh,
I guess we've got a new segment. I don't
I
know.
had to create a new segment because I saw this and it was amazing.
Oh, I thought Jason put this in. Go ahead. Geek Hero of the Week. Do your intro.
Geek Hero of the Week. It's probably not something we do every week, but I saw this screenshot from Twitter and it was just awesome.
Oh my god.
So I named the Geek Hero of the Week is Twitch,
Oh, okay.
and I'm gonna have to read out loud for people who haven't seen it. So somebody sends into Twitch support. They're like,
Hello, Colony.
I'm having an issue, and they send a screenshot of what their screen looks like. And let me just it's Windows XP. It looks like the resolution is like 1024 by 768, and it's not the latest Firefox. We'll go with that.
It looks like
Oh,
XP.
And they actually have the Yahoo toolbar in Firefox. And this is not Firefox 4. I don't even know if it's in the 3s for Firefox. Yes, it's Windows XP again. So Twitch support replies this guy, well, your first issue is that, judging by your resolution, OS, and toolbar choice, that screenshot is clearly from 2002. Their next tweet actually looks like they're trying to solve the guy's issue. And then the last tweet is that also consider uninstalling Yahoo Toolbar, and then reconsider every step in your life that has led you to installing Yahoo Toolbar. That's like the best tech support I've ever seen.
Now, did he like respond in between those three, or like no,
No, those three were in
just consecutive?
in order. Yeah, if you click the Twitter link that I have,
Oh, you do
in,
have one.
I'll actually bring you to that. Is there a way? Can we get this out to the peeps, yo?
Peeps, yo.
Copy and paste. Oh,
Oh, shoot. You get it out?
I love I love all the comments underneath are Twitch TV support #bodied. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Epic.
Epic.
Well, Twitch is the hero of the week. And Cayenne West is dumbass.
Cayenne West.
Cayenne West.
I don't know. I've never said his name right.
Now he's definitely gonna come on the show
Cayenne.
to correct Hugo and to interrupt Sergio. Oh god. Oh god. I don't know. I think Sergio, or not Sergio. I think Hugo just took DOW.
No. I don't like the guy.
Oh man.
Okay.
Do we have a? No, it's a geek rant. Geek rant's
I have
next.
I have no.
You have a
geek
geek
rant.
rant? I don't have one. I
Did
just
you
hate.
become a hipster yet?
I just hate people like how they don't know how to park.
Oh, you mean
Oh,
like,
it's like-
the lines are there for a reason? That type
Yes.
of thing?
That's
No,
like
they're
the
not.
douche in my lot this morning. I pull into my spot. Well, we don't have. It's not like assigned spots, so just clear that up. So I pull into a spot.
You got a
This
huge ass parking lot there, though.
ginormous Ford Expedition then pulls into the spot right next to me on the white line. Now I drive a coupe. The doors are pretty big, so that was really tough getting out of my car. But what an a-hole.
Sports scoop.
Get out from the passenger side.
No, I squeezed out.
Oh.
Still upset.
So yeah, let me. I was dropping my kid off at school the other day, and then this guy, he just like, it clearly says no parking right there, and then right next to it was like, the handicap parking spots. So he's completely blocking the handicap spots, and like he's right next to the door. Which, what if a kid comes out and runs right into the car without looking? Hits the car.
Should have slashed his tires.
Yeah, should have.
Keyed his car.
I know. I'm
You
like,
should have
this
run a
is
potato on his paint and stuck keys in his exhaust pipe.
oh.
Put a banana in there.
But I don't know. I guess
Well,
just
we have somebody that does something similar to that at our workplace, and it's clearly not anybody that works there. But you know how
It's an itty bitty lot too. That's tough to maneuver.
it is. So think of you know how there's the lot itself, and there's like a little spot, like you can go when you take a left into the lot, you can go around in that little area.
Mhm.
Now think of somebody parking a nice massive truck right in the middle, so that nobody can go on either side.
the smaller area or the
Like when you pull into the lot, there's like the area that has cars facing up to the hill, like facing the high school. There's 2 rows of parking spots in between that and the store.
wait,
and
which
there's
one
a-
do you work at?
The one on
Minden
Minden.
Road.
Oh, the where the old Rojacks used to be.
Yes, it's now the
Okay.
Seabra Plaza.
Which is where I park when I go to CVS.
I.
Because I don't
Exactly.
like dealing with that lot.
Exactly. But somebody parks there to block people from going around the lot on the side that's like a one-way. And then there's another person who, you know how the lots have the lines, and then there's big sections that have huge crosses on them, like, do not park here? We have at least 5 dumbasses a week that park in that same spot. There's no parking spot there, but they always do that.
I want pictures. Take a picture and we'll post on our Facebook thing this week.
We'll get some justice.
Yeah.
Jason, you take it, you post it, because you have access.
I have that.
Sergio just doesn't have a Facebook account, so he can't use it.
Taking pictures of cars is funny though. We used to have somebody. We used to have somebody that I went to college with. I would come back from class to go to my car because we were commuters, and it was somebody I think who had a Jetta, and their license plate said Plan B. And because I'm in pharmacy, I just laughed, and I had to take a picture of it. I have it somewhere. I need to find it though.
I might get a license plate that says Hugo on it.
Hugo? Like WHOO?
HOGO?
No, 3 O's in the middle, because it's my newer alias online.
Alias?
Alias. Shut up! I can't use words today.
Jennifer Garner.
Yes.
What's Northwest's father's name?
Kim.
Kim.
Close enough.
So Sergio, what if?
I just kind of threw this, and then I started typing it up because I was bored. So my what if is, what if Nintendo never broke off its partnership with Sony back in the Super Nintendo days?
That'd be insane.
So I started typing up one possible result of that, which would be, so Sony wouldn't have gotten pissed off and made the PlayStation.
Nintendo would have a CD drive.
Yep, the Super Nintendo would have a disk drive on it, which would extend. That disk drive was supposed to include a 3D processor, which was eventually put into the PlayStation. So that would have extended the Super Nintendo's life well beyond. So therefore, the Nintendo 64 would have never been made, and discs would have been de facto. So none of that silly cartridge business that N64 had. But again, there's not competing with the PlayStations, which was like their biggest competitor. So they would still be competing with the Genesis at that time, and the
So
32X.
So those
And
PlayStation
then
games
the
that are
Sega
like
Saturn.
all those cheap PlayStation games will never be made. Like the third parties or whatever that all just made weren't worth it.
No, they would have been made, because when Sony split away from Nintendo, they took a lot of the third-party support with them. So Final Fantasies, those were all Super Nintendo
Well, I
babies.
wasn't talking about that one, but yeah. Oh, that's how they got on Sony. I could never realize.
Square was already gearing up for the discs because they had a lot more storage. So when Super Nintendo never got their disc drive, they went.
Somebody
with,
fell asleep.
Who was that?
Demetrio.
What the hell? Oh, I don't know what just happened. Oh, sorry.
So then you'd end up like in the late 90s. That system would be old. You'd have the Dreamcast coming out. You got to come out with something new to compete with it. So now you got a new Sony/Nintendo system coming out in the late 90s instead of the early 2000s. Chances are you wouldn't have a DVD drive on it, which was one of the big things that made the PlayStation 2 so big right off the bat. And then you got Xbox coming out in 2001, which did have a DVD drive. And chances are they would push that a little bit harder. They wouldn't have required the sensor kit.
What about that Dreamcast? Because that was kind of like
Yeah, Dreamcast is probably what you would have ended up with.
Yeah.
Except it would probably be a dual analog Dreamcast, basically. You gotta admit, the Dreamcast was missing a lot of the things that we consider to be a modern-day system by the time the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox came out.
Hmm.
Even though it had its lack of games is what really killed it, but it wouldn't have been able to compete in that generation.
Yeah, based off of everything else. I mean, I don't know. And the thing you got to think of is, would the games that we have now, like that have since separated and came out from Sony, would they have existed? Would they be better?
Or even the Nintendo ones. Would they have even made Super Mario 64?
Would they have ever made Grand Theft Auto? Because then that start off on Sony, on PlayStation.
No, it technically started off on PC. Grand
Was
Theft Autos 1 and 2.
Oh, damn it!
They were still considered Rockstar. Well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rockstar was something separate. It's like the Far Cry games. That was PC. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the original
Far
one.
Cry was one of the first games to use AMD's 64-bit technology.
So yeah, anything that came from the PC realm would have still been roughly the same. Porting over would be different, though, depending on the system. If they decided to port over.
Chances are, too, since they're two strong companies, so then, let's say they do the disk drive for Super Nintendo, and Sony, wants a bit more control, or Nintendo wants, more control, wants to keep, Sony from making decisions, and Sony splits off at that point. They get the disk drive done, they split off. Now there's no PlayStation 1 still. So maybe they do make the PlayStation 2 and probably just call it PlayStation, since there was no PS1. But then what does Nintendo do? Now they still are in the situation where they need to release a new console at the end of the 90s, and not the GameCube in 2001. So are they sunk at that point?
I don't know.
Because they barely made it out of GameCube.
I don't know.
Imagine a GameCube with less graphics.
What? No. That's crazy. Sergio.
Oregon Trail 3D.
I don't think that would have been the same at all.
So, Sergio, what's our rule for this week?
What's a what now?
A rule
Oh,
for
rule?
this week.
I don't have a rule.
Oh, you have to have a rule. Come up with one. Come on.
I have one.
It's a Jason rule.
It's not a Sergio. Well, it's not even my rule. This is more of a Demetrio rule.
What?
Everybody has to make the sound of the fox at least once, and that's the rule.
Sleeping.
That
What
is-
does a fox say?
Yeah. What does it say?
I don't know, Demetrio. Tell us.
I'm formulating a Demetrio rule. Hold on, let's see.
Formulating.
Okay.
Demetrio rule number 1.
Always talk with the shirt off.
Not wearing a shirt still looks good.
Oh, okay.
No, or not wearing a shirt is just as good. It's a proto rule. Hasn't fully baked.
Rule.
It's a number 1? That should be like 1,001, shouldn't it?
Why?
Yeah, because if you started off with 1, it assumes you're making a complete list. Where if you throw a random number out, nobody really knows how many rules are out there. It's a marketing ploy. Come on.
Shush. You just told them our secret. Bad.
I didn't tell them our secret.
So, what was it?
It's not done yet.
Oh.
It's in mock form.
You just wrote rule again.
We're beta testing the new rule.
It's in alpha, guys.
Yeah, it's not even at beta.
Aye, aye, aye.
That's the
It's
alpha.
still internal testing.
Alpha. Oh, that makes me sad. That show.
It's still on.
I know it's still on, but it's not the same.
I watched it with my nephew.
It's owned. The company that owns it now is called Power Rangers Ltd. or whatever. They have their own like studios now just for that.
Oh,
Let me tell
speaking of
that new Yellow Ranger, my God, whoo! She is she's got it going on.
speaking of Power Rangers, I
Wow.
don't know if this came up, but has anybody seen the show Flashpoint?
No.
Flashpoint. I think I have, but I don't remember.
It's about like this group of like specialized cops where if somebody takes somebody hostage,
Oh yeah,
go
with the
in
guy
and try
from
to talk him down.
from Just Shoot Me.
Maybe,
It was the bald guy on Just Shoot Me.
possibly, I don't know. But the girl who plays that, or the girl who's the girl on the squad, is Kimberly Jo Johnson, who is the original Pink Ranger, which not many people know because people who watch Flashpoint are older, so they don't realize that, oh, hey, that was a Power Ranger because they weren't that young back in the 90s. Even though the 90s is very stereotypical with their Rangers and choice of colors, so to speak. Did anybody else notice that? Or was it just
No.
me?
I've never seen it, so.
Nah,
Okay.
I don't. I might have. I don't know. No,
Holy
no.
cow!
If you watch the
No.
original Power Rangers, you'll see what I mean. So like, the Yellow Ranger was the Asian girl.
Yeah.
So like
Why?
typical
Yeah.
girly girl was the Pink Ranger.
Now it's not like that at all.
The Red Ranger had anger issues. The Black Ranger was
Poopy. Black.
But
his
Oh,
name
he was
was oh,
Ron.
God. No, it wasn't Ron.
what was
But yeah, I don't remember it. But he's been in a few other movies. And then the Blue
Green
Ranger
it? Was
the
that
Green
little
Ranger
kid?
was wicked
Tommy.
Irish.
He's
was
Tommy.
wicked Irish.
He's Tommy.
Wasn't the Blue Ranger like a really like a
He wasn't getting any.
small kid?
He was the nerdy, like sad kid of the group. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now the Green Ranger is actually a UFC fighter, which I thought was funny.
The Green Ranger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
What?
a UFC fighter. All this crazy stuff going on. But yeah,
That's nuts. So,
The girl with the pink hair from Lazy Town has the same birthday as me.
really?
the heck
I
is
like
Lazy
that.
Town?
Lazy Town. That's a good
That's
show.
that creepy puppet show.
It's not a puppet. Oh yeah, it did have.
Yeah, there's a puppet show.
It did have puppets. What was it really?
The wicked creepy. No, but she's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that when
Girl?
I was young.
I'm gonna have to
Well,
Google this. I have no idea what you're talking about. Lazy
Lazy
Town?
Town. Yeah.
She's
Lazy
22, so don't. She does look younger than 22.
All right, what's coming up next week?
Stuff.
Stuff?
Oh, I need to get
all,
back to that.
I don't know.
all I've seen is
NBA 2K14.
Boo. Who's gonna buy that garbage?
Oh, but
The K doesn't even save you space.
well, that's
They
what
can't call it
I know, huh?
2014.
nothing's really happening next week
No,
except nothing.
no. Actually, we don't have any work, so
October happens next week.
Me and Demetrio might get together and play some games.
Yeah, we don't have
Aw.
any work at all.
Yeah.
Bow, bow.
Oh, Sergio, we need to plan our invasion of Havenshine at some point. Preferably on a day that they're playing something that we're not gonna both like completely suck at, like Brawl or Smash, because I will not do well on those.
Well, they
games.
have Halo on
I
Sundays.
could probably still be able to play Halo.
Yeah.
I can't play Halo. I will be a handicap to whoever's on the same team as me. I'll be lucky if I get a kill.
Well, each one of the days is something different. So I'll ask them exactly what they mean.
It's the day that we get to play Super Mario Brothers 1.
Hash Fat Melee is like a Super Smash Bros. Brawl or whatever on Wednesdays. And then RPGs on Monday. Yeah.
RPG like board
RPGs?
games?
Role-playing,
Or like
I
Rocket
guess. I don't know.
Powered Grenade.
When do we get to play Ski Free? What day is that?
It's broken.
Ski free.
That Sasquatch, or Abominable Snowman, or whatever he was, it took him forever to catch me. Dominate.
Alright. And that does it for this episode. Check out all of our previous shows, social media links, email, and more at our website at geeksandwichpodcast.com.
And also a way for you, yes, you, to help the Geek Sandwich raise some cash so that we can make a better show for you, the viewer.
You. Yeah.
Yes, you.
Yeah,
If you could see us pointing to our screens, we'd be pointing to you.
Well,
If we
we're
had
working on-
cameras.
Yeah. We have cameras, but they're not on.
I have a can. Okay.
If you'd like to donate,
Yes, you.
we have
You.
the PayPal link on the website.
Yes, you.
You.
That wasn't
Yeah.
very,
Donate monies.
Do it. Do it now.
Oh, I guess this one's not here, huh?
Yeah.
But-
Okay, and until next time.
Bye.
Stadler?
Yeah, what?
Is that it?
Yes, it's over. How'd you like it?
I don't know. I slept through the whole thing.
Well, you didn't miss much.
Thanks for listening to Geek Sandwich.
This podcast is a part of the HTS Digital Network of Podcasts. For more podcasts done by HTS Digital, visit our website at htsdigital.com or search HTS Digital on Facebook and Twitter.